Hi, I'm Danny and these are my Diecast Disasters. In this video I'm going to be doing a commission build for somebody, and it is a Chevy Stepside 1975 and a Caravan. I'm going to be rusting up the van a little bit and weathering both of them. So I'm using a Matchbox 1975 Chevy Stepside. This is the 2018 version. Really nice detailed model. So you've got the little sticky out brake lights on the back. And I'll be pairing it with the classic old Matchbox Caravan, and these were produced from 1978 all the way through until 1999. And as you can see, this one's in pretty decent condition. Let's try and get the door to open there. Still got its little door opening tab. Definitely a period correct sort of Caravan to go with the truck. Okay, so let's crack on and take it apart. There's two posts to drill out. Then I can remove the base and take apart the rest of the car. Nice clear windscreen there. This actually took me a while to find one with a clear windscreen. I had a couple of others, but one had a red windscreen and another one had a blue windscreen. They just weren't that great for a custom. There was this one little post holding the base on the Caravan, so that was drilled out. And then this too could be taken apart. And the little Caravan here, of course, it's got these ugly orange or yellow windows, so I'll be doing something about those. With the models taken apart, the next step was to remove the paint from the castings with some paint stripper. And here they are after paint stripping. You'll wash off all the wrinkled paint with some water. There's a few scraps of paint and the oxidation on the castings. So of course it's over to my trusty Dremel and a wire wheel. This will get rid of the scraps of paint and clean the casting up. Here they are after burnishing, looking nice and clean and shiny now. I thought I'd add a little awning to the Caravan. So I've bent a piece of steel rod here. And I want to make it so that you can take the awning on and off. So I'm going to make a couple little holes in the side of the Caravan. There we go. Now I should be able to push my wire awning frame in and out of those holes. So next I added some legs to the awning frame. I gave it a dull aluminium paint job. Then I just designed a basic awning cover here, and I've printed it out on some paper. Next I'll cut it out, and I fold it over the edges there. And I'm going to use some PVA glue to stick this onto the frame. Back to the Caravan casting, there was a couple of rough areas. The sprues where the metal went in, I guess. And here it is after a bit of a tidy up and with the awning in place. So now it's time for a paint job. I start out with a base coat of white. And then I'm going to put orange panels on the base. So I mask off those. And then they're spray painted orange. There we go. Next I took some aluminium and I've painted all of the window frames there. And now I'm going to use some green and black weathering powders to weather it. So these were aluminium, of course they're not going to go rusty, but they go pretty mouldy. So I'm going to try and get that mouldy effect. So there's one side done. I'll just keep going until the whole Caravan is looking pretty mouldy. Here is the interior. I'm going to detail this. I'll start out with a coat of white primer, so I've got a nicer surface to paint onto. And here I've detailed it with a kind of orangey theme. There's a couple of fishing magazines there and a newspaper, a couple of mats. Here's that horrible orange windscreen. I'm just going to cut off all of the sides. There we go. And to glue the top and the other windows I'm going to be making in place, I'm using this crystal clear. So I glue the top windows in there, and then I replaced all of the other ones with some clear plastic ones. So there we go, that's how it came out. Also put a custom Roma license plate on the rear there, and I've painted in a little bit of rust on the tow hitch. Here's the base. I've just painted the tail lights red and added some dust weathering. And finally the door. I masked off the hinge area so the paint didn't chip away when you open and close the door. Then I've painted it white and I've given it the mouldy weathering there. So that's the Caravan parts pretty much done. I can move on with the truck now. drilled and tapped the posts there. Next I give it a coat of white primer. And the client wanted it to be an orange truck. So there's a nice coat of orange. And I'm going to add some white stripes down the base of the sides of the cab there. There they go. Just use some white decals to do those. Next I painted in the other details, like the chrome fittings there and the lights and the mirrors. Now I'm going to paint in a few little rust patches here and there. And here it is after I've finished adding the rust patches and a little bit of weathering there. So onto the interior next. First thing I'm going to do with this is to paint the rear deck there in orange. Then I'm going to place it into the body of the truck and paint in a few more rust patches, a bit more heavily rusted and grubby. And then I detailed the interior in brown, sort of a leathery finish with a black steering wheel. So the chassis I started out by painting underneath with magnesium. Then I painted the grille and the bumpers in chrome. And here I've painted in a few rust patches. Detailed the indicators. And I added a wash there. And also a custom license plate. Here's the old original wheels. Actually pretty good design, these Matchbox wheels. So I'm going to reuse this for the trailer. And I'm going to use these green light ones for the truck. But I turned around the white rimmed tyres and I've also weathered and rustied the rims a little bit there. So here we are. Here's all the parts of our Stepside and our Caravan. Renovated, repainted, roughed up and ready to go back together. And while I'm doing that, we'll just take a moment to look back and be reminded of what we started with. Here is our little 75 Chevy Stepside, looking quite nice and tidy in that blue there. Not overly keen on the graphics on the side, I don't think they do a lot for it. All around it is a really well detailed, solid little model. So let's get it repainted in orange and rough it up a bit with some rust and dust. And here it is, our finished custom Matchbox 75 Chevy Stepside truck. Giving it a pretty classic orange and white Chevy paint job there. Got the rust patches, nice new wheels and a detailed interior. Hopefully it looks like it's come off the farm, had a bit of a rough life, but it's still good to tow the Caravan down to the lake for a fishing trip. So let's take a look at that. So here it is, our little 70s Matchbox Caravan. It's not a big Caravan, but I'd say it's done quite a few miles in its life. I did actually customize another one of these a little while ago. I'll leave a link at the end of the video so you can check out that if you like. I think it was maybe in a little rougher condition than this one. This one seems to have made it through the years, not too bad. It's scuffed and scruffy. We're going to age it a fair bit more and do some detailing. So here it is with its new paint job, similar orange and white. I think it's looking a bit better without those grotty old stickers on it. And of course it's been left out in the yard, in the rain and the weather for a few years. It's got a good old coat of mould and grime on it. I've also detailed the interior there. It's got some new wheels on it, which are a little bit more detailed. And I've also stuck an old festival poster and a fishing contest poster in the windows there, which you can see through into the interior more easily now because they are clear. And so there's one last thing to take a look at, and that is the Caravan with the awning on it. There we go, there's our orange and brown classic 70s colour stripy awning. Be able to put that on or off depending on whether you're towing it around or got it sitting in a scene. So there you go, that was a cool project to do. It was quite fun. Something a bit different with the mouldy Caravan and the awning there. I haven't tried that technique before. So I really hope you enjoyed watching it, and I hope that my client who I built it for enjoys it. I'll be sending it off to him in the not too distant future. Just before I go, I'll give a big shout out to my awesome Patreon supporters who help to support the channel through Patreon. If you'd like to help out as well, you can check out the link in the description down below. And thanks heaps to you for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more similar stuff, remember to subscribe and click the bell. And it always helps if you share and give the video a thumbs up.